We have an NHL trade to discuss between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Minnesota Wild. We'll discuss the details coming up next. Welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, we have an NHL trade to discuss. Nothing too significant, but a deal that will result in a player who's got a fair bit of NHL experience making his way probably to a more regular role in the NHL, at least for the short term. We'll see how things work out. But the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Minnesota Wild have connected on a trade, sending defenseman Will Butcher from Pittsburgh to the Minnesota Wild in exchange for prospect Maximum Kachkovich. Now, Kachkovich was a 2019 third-round pick, originally drafted by Tampa. He was actually traded to Minnesota in the same deal that brought Pat Maroon to the Minnesota Wild. Of course, Will Butcher, former NHL defenseman, getting another opportunity here. Obviously, he played with a few different teams, including the Devils and the Sabres before. All of last season was spent in the American Hockey League, and so far this campaign, he had signed with Pittsburgh, but didn't make the NHL roster. He's looked good in the American Hockey League in Wilkes-Barre. The last year as well, he had a really good point totals and good results in the American Hockey League. So it's almost like he's kind of borderline almost too good for the AHL, but not quite good enough to be a consistent, regular top 6 NHL D. Obviously, the Wild are dealing with some injuries. Jerard Fagerberg, we just found out, is done for the season. That'll create some cap flexibility as well. Well, we already knew that he was going to be out long term, so there was already some flexibility, but now we know he's not going to be back this year, so they have flexibility for the remainder of the season with his contract, and of course, trying to find some extra depth with his injury and others that they're dealing with. So certainly Bill Guerin, has connection to the Penguins, a team he used to work for, and certainly lots of, people there that he'd be able to get a good intel from. So clearly Butcher's in a situation where Pittsburgh likely wasn't planning on really giving him or seeing him being an NHL option for them. So they send him over to Minnesota for a prospect. Now, this prospect, like I said, Maximum Kachkovich, he's split this year with the mostly between the AHL and East Coast League, with more of that time in the Coast than the American Hockey League. His numbers in the East Coast League are actually really good. The Slovakian right winger appears to be a guy who might be, I think, considered a long shot to be an NHLer at this point, but could be somebody who might be able to help their farm system. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, just a minor trade between the Wild and the Penguins. So we'll be back just here in a little bit of time with another video recapping on lots of other NHL news and rumors that have taken place here today. Lots of other things have taken place on the waiver wire. We have some other speculation about things that might go down as well. So we'll be back soon with that. So stay tuned. If you're new, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. And I'll catch you next time.